It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Ace, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just trying to save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week, and we'll lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
The real word. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the real word. We at season 5, episode 1. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that's just been looking out. Yo, it's power, man. It's power circle right here. Yo, it's been a while. You know, we took a hiatus. We left in December. You know, we took about almost 2 months off, but we back like cook crack. You already know what it is.
That is good.
What's up, Kimmel? You in the building right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's BK Truth. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? We back. And we back with
2020.
And we back with one new guest and one recurring guest from the last season. Introduce yourself, sir.
So I'm Jeremiah. Everybody knows me as Jeremy the Prophet.
The prophet is in the building.
Prolific prophet.
Yeah, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do a lot of I venture in a lot of different areas of business. I deal with business consulting, technology, credit repair, real estate.
He fixes your life, basically. You know?
One-stop shop. One-stop shop.
And I'm Alexander. I'm a construction administrator for the city.
It's awesome.
Yeah. We build schools.
Yeah.
So if you got a kid and you want to go to a good school, you can hit me up.
Oh, yeah, facts. For all those watching at home, you're probably wondering, what is this on the table?
It's heavy.
It's getting heavy. Trophy. Shout out to Schwartz Media Group. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that helped us since day one to help us to get this far. Shout out to everyone that believed in the dream when we first began. Shout out to everyone that ever donated, anyone that ever donated their time, their money, their energy, that ever shared the video, that ever came out to any event, that ever did anything for us, because this is for you. This is not only for me, but this is for you. And without you guys, we would have never got this. This is something special, but this is just the first of many. So shout out to all y'all that's been helping. This is for all of us. Shout out to the real word. Shout out to God. Look at God.
Amen.
It's real.
Yep. And we got a couple more on the table.
Yeah, my man been putting that work, man.
More for us to show, but yeah. Enough about that, guys. So what y'all want to get into today?
Oh, man.
Well, you rocking the Prolific t-shirt, so what is prolific to you?
Oh, man. So prolific really became like I feel like the word became more popular once, you know, the late great Nipsey Hussle passed away.
R.I.P. to a legend, man.
Yeah, R.I.P. to a great. So a lot
Grammy
of
nominated, Grammy winner.
Yeah, they gave my boy his proper respect, gave him his flowers.
I hate the fact that he went platinum and he got a Grammy after his death.
Yeah, that's usually,
you know. Kind of like Biggie in a sense, you know, double platinum after his death and all.
They say you're worth more dead than alive in most cases, so you know it's one of those sad realities.
Shout out to funerals don't count, bring flowers now.
Somebody shooting early.
But 2020, man.
But that's why it's important to, like, you know, support all, you know, minority entrepreneurs, you know, people that have small businesses or growing businesses. That's why it's important to support people like, you know, the real word. You gotta support, you know, my man doing this construction, my business. You know what I'm saying?
Helping the people, man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, we're alive right now, so give us our flowers while we're here. You know, that's how I see it. You know, and I do the same thing. You know, I'm always supporting, donating. You know,
you get
sharing.
The flowers back.
Yeah, you know, it's a beautiful thing when you just supporting something that can actually sustain the community and provide some benefits. to the people that we live with. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's
shout out to prolific is just like the definition is having an abundance of opportunities, basically, and that right there is it really resonates with me because we have to be prolific. Prolific kind of coincides with being optimistic because life is going to throw us obstacles at many different times, and we have to see the opportunities to be better in a prolific sense. We have to be able to see all the unlimited, limitless opportunities out there to, get ourselves attached to something that is better than the current things that we're going through.
I think of that like positive thinking. That's like, always being positive about your next move, trying to make growth.
Exactly, exactly.
The wild part about it is like, even with me and everything and the company, after that whole situation with Nipsey, it kind of, in a sense, it kind of scared me because the sad reality is most of the time when you're doing good in your neighborhood for your people, it's your own people that be hating on you that want to take you out. And the fact that a lot of the things that Nipsey is doing, I'm doing as well. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. With the real word and with our business we're doing. Matter of fact,
it's a vibe. Man.
Yeah, it's a vibe. But at the same time,
community.
Of course, but
making too much noise and
a lot of. All right, it's like when during the last toy drive, it was the black guy that I walked past that got caught in the picture. Yeah. He was me mugging.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it. He was looking like, "What are you guys doing in this neighborhood?" We didn't look recognizable, but we were doing something for all his people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shout out to Brownsville, man.
That was lit. The toy drive.
We're gonna help you out, Brownsville.
And Brownsville has like such a beautiful history as well. A lot of people don't even know.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of greats from just Brooklyn, period.
Right.
You got entertainers such as Biggie, Fab. You got
Jay-Z.
Political actors. Yeah, Jay-Z. You got political activists. Shirley Chisholm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So you got some greats out here. And
you could be the next grade too.
Yeah.
The owner from Starbucks and that owned the Seattle Supersonics. He's from Bayview, Canarsie, and he's a billionaire now.
Yeah.
A billionaire from Canarsie.
It's all possible.
He'll make a lot of greats.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So for that fact, but I just feel like with the whole situation, sometimes like when you're doing positive things, people either take advantage of you or they don't want to see you shine. They don't want to see you do these positive things, and they feel a way about it. I feel like that too much times I feel like it's unfortunate, and the fact that it happens within our community, I feel like it's a travesty, man.
You can't focus on it though, man. You can't give them that much energy because at the end of the day, your legacy is about the good that you do,
Yeah.
Nipsey was remembered for all the good that he did, Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how he went, about what he did before he went out,
Yeah.
Don't make mistakes.
And the thing about that is just like one thing that I recognize, like just to touch on what you said, is just that like I noticed that a lot of people would, make disparaging remarks about what it is that you're doing or maybe just about you because they don't see themselves being able to live up to what it is that you're doing. They feel like you're superior to them, so their best way of having any type of identity with you is to try to break you down. And that's kind of
to their level.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Yeah, try to diss you because that's really like the only way they could talk to you. Because if they were to talk to you to be a part of what it is you're doing, more than likely they don't even have like the ambition or the skill set to be a part of what you're doing.
That's facts. Me and Alex was talking about that the other day. We was talking about a situation that happened with me where it was this kid, like he younger than me, but like he.
A lot of us are younger than you.
Facts.
Oh, you got a gun today.
But like he was dissing me media, and like he would just throw my name out there even when I had nothing to do with the situation that he was going through. It was like out of frustration, and I wouldn't understand it.
Was it for clout?
Of course.
It was the cloud.
And then when I would talk to people about it, I'm like, yo, like, he's disrespecting me. I feel like violating him. And it was like, nah, don't do it, bro. You're going to lose everything you have over this person that has nothing to lose.
Exactly.
And it came to the point where I had to sit down with his father. I'm like, yo, like
the roots.
At the end of the day, like, I'm trying to change the world. I'm trying to influence the world. And I'm trying to show these kids that they could do the same thing.
Exactly.
The fact that he doesn't understand that, That's not my job to correct. That's your job to correct.
Exactly.
That's some Jay-Z level for real. Like, I'm gonna go talk to your pops. I used to hustle with your pops. How you raising your kid?
Well,
Yeah, like
That's real.
they can't talk about nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you're the only person that knows about something and you introduce it to people as a topic and they know nothing about it, you won't get any feedback. And I say that to say that because the reason why he was talking about you is because you were actually making an impact to the people that were aware of what it is that you're doing. He wasn't just saying particular words about what it is that you're doing and nobody knew. Like, what is he talking about? Everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing something already. And he's speaking on it in a way that's negative, and he's trying to garner attention based off of what it is that you're doing. You're doing the work, and you're giving him life by you giving life. And you just gotta respect that. I mean, at the end of the day,
No such thing as bad
publicity. No such thing.
He's giving you attention.
No such thing. And then guess what? Like, all your supporters, they'll handle them. Look at what happened with Gail. Look, Snoop jumped in, the world jumped in, Twitter jumped in. Yeah.
Snoop had to apologize.
Yeah, I mean, he gonna do that, for
He came out kind of aggressive.
Politics.
Yeah, the politics thing. But are we really forgiving somebody that was disrespectful to an icon in our culture? I mean, yeah.
that was heartbreaking, man. I can't even speak on that situation. I haven't posted on it, but I was in shock when I heard that Kobe Bryant died.
I was gonna wear the jersey today, man. I was gonna bring it out, but
Next time, man.
Yeah, he was dealing with a pharmaceutical company, right?
Oh yeah, that one, the Black Mamba name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They was using his name, and then the product that they were delivering to the people, like it had some kind of what it was. It had some kind of chemical. He did research on it, and that's why he mainly didn't want his name dealt with that kind of product.
Yeah, it was basically them corner store Viagra pills called the Black Mamba. You know, they got the Black Rhino. That's what gave me my daughter the Black Rhino pill.
Now, that's word come out. That might be the realest thing.
Bro, here's the story, bro. One time I went to the store, right? I was on Nostrand and Fulton.
and the Black Rhino sign was.
And I went to get something to drink. So I went to get something to drink, and I'm talking to the Arab, because every time I go into the Arab stores, I'm always messing with them, like just joking around. I'm like, yo, Black Rhino. I'm like, does that work? Because yes, it's gonna make you go like this. I was like, nah, you lying. He's like, yes, take it.
He's like, you're gonna be strong.
I was like, all right, cool. So I bought it. I'm like, all right. I bought it. I drank a beer, bro. It was a long night. Then a couple of months later, I got that text, that Tony, that text. The other night you shot up the club, and this is what happened. And she was like, I already sent it to your mother and your sister.
Oh, she wasn't playing. We getting married.
Already know.
She basically said we getting married.
Yeah. No, we was already married at that time. It was just that, like,
It was just the next step,
Oh, yeah.
It was like the
yeah.
layup line,
Layup
He
line.
passed the 3-point line. He passed the
Facts.
Oh,
So like when that happened, I was just like, all right, man. I'm like, this pill works.
the black.
He said it works.
You left
about
the
to
review.
She about to get an endorsement deal after this one.
Facts. We need it.
You left the review.
I'll take it. Sure.
This works, guys.
If someone is giving it to me, I'll take it.
I'll take it too.
Yeah, man. So other than that, January of 2020 was rough, man. It had a lot of ups and downs. We lost a couple people. A lot of things happened.
Too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fast.
It's already February 17th, 2020, and some people saying that they reset in February because January was crazy.
January was crazy, right?
So,
But I have to say, like, I did have some positive upside to the month of January. It was actually crazy to me. I was actually sitting about it, and I was like, I was a little mind blown. Because back to what we were talking about, the day that Kobe died, right? I was at the grand opening of a company called Jumpin' Jack Tax in Philadelphia. They're the fastest.
Okay, I've seen that guy online.
Yeah, so they're like the fastest growing tax company in America, and I was there to support. And I was standing in line to go inside to like get you know, they were offering like people to come in and see how the office was and stuff like that. And I happened to like, while I was waiting to be one of the next people to go inside, I go on Instagram. Oh,
That's me.
The devil is a liar.
Oh, that's me.
Won't stop us from doing this show.
We take a commercial break.
Now you guys all see what's behind the curtains.
Don't put a TV there, don't worry.
So yeah.
But yeah, so I was saying, I was at the grand opening for Jumpin' Jack Tax in Philadelphia.
Right?
Yeah, I was waiting to go in to see how the office was, and I go on Instagram and I refresh my page, and then I see like all this recipes Kobe, and I'm like, hold up, no way. I was like, this got to be fake.
It was on that day?
Yeah, it was on that day. So like, it was a day that we were celebrating black excellence, that we saw a legend, an icon for our culture, like, you know, go down. And it was like, I was stuck between two worlds, because I was like so excited for this company, and then at the same time it's like, damn, Kobe.
That's the same thing that happened when Nipsey died. I think they sent the notification through the iPhone saying that rapper Nipsey Hussle was just murdered, and I'm like, nah, this gotta be a lie, bro. I cried for Nipsey, bro. It hurt even till this day, bro. Like, it's still even hard to listen to his music. And in his last song that he put out, he said, "Never will they catch me slipping."
Yeah.
And they caught him slipping. It's almost like, I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
at this point, nah, he lives through the music, and
Yeah,
I didn't know Nipsey that well because I didn't really listen to West Coast rap in that sense of. I heard it more after he passed away.
Yeah.
But Kobe, I grew up with, man. I used to have the jersey in the backyard. Kobe made me feel soft for playing basketball a certain way. I was like, I gotta play a little harder.
My man Kobe finger be broken.
Exactly. And I'm there crying because a little cut. I'm like, nah, I gotta keep playing. Like
the Mamba mentality, man.
That's real. Like that's the vibe you get. I feel that. And when I heard Nipsey, I felt that same type of vibe. You know, the vibe of, you know, I'm gonna make a positive influence no matter what.
yeah.
Like that's the vibe I got from Nipsey. And with Kobe, I felt like, dang, I was like you at that moment. I was just at the pool, at the gym on 14th exit, Brooklyn Sports with my mom, my daughter, and I'm looking at my mom. My mom was like, "Oh, look what's about to happen. I'm about to tell them the bad news." And I'm looking at her like, "What are you talking about?" And my girl's like, "Yeah, Kobe's gone." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Kobe gone where?" Like,
he can't die.
My daughter's like, "What do you mean he's gone?" And I'm like, my mom was like, "Yeah, he died in a helicopter." I'm like, "Why he taking a helicopter? Like, damn, Kobe, like, take the bus." Like,
He said, "Take the
retired,
bus."
like,
Or drive.
yeah, I'm just, and then when it was like, yeah, I think his daughter was with him, and I'm just listening to this.
It got worse and worse.
I'm there, like, I need privacy, like,
like time to mourn.
There's another, exactly, like, there's another world, a part of me that's like falling apart, like, yo, we gotta keep this together, like,
You
we
cried?
gotta keep the Mamba mentality together, like.
Yeah, for real. I mean,
Did you cry?
I couldn't, man. I had the towel over my face. I called my friend who cried on the phone, so that was enough for me. I felt like I felt it through him. Like, I called him. I'm like, "Yo, Matt." He's like, "Bro, we don't even gotta talk about it." Like, he's like, "I'm a grown man and there's tears on my face right now." Like,
real talk.
It hurts, bro. When it hurts, it hurts.
Yeah, they both left us with something, you know, like to live by, though. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like Nipsey Hussle, he was very consistent and adamant about.
was that his real last name, Hustle? Because it just feels like I got
That was
it.
his real last name.
Yeah, nah, his name, I know what it is. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I know how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I like that it's Hustle though, because in the same way of like the Black Mamba was like, to me it sounds like Mama, like he's like an aggressive parent to everyone in the league. Like it didn't matter if it was Kobe, I mean if it was Durant, LeBron, it didn't matter who was in front of him, he sunned them.
Yeah. And he was able to do that with his work ethic, and that's what I think that they left us, bro. It's like if everybody who truly watches and understands what they were talking about,
And how they
Kobe was very adamant about like playing through adversity. You know, taking whatever obstacle it is that you're going through and getting
battling through it.
Battle through it. Give it your best. Like there's
All those nightlists.
yes. And then Nipsey just like he was very adamant about get your money, invest it, and reinvest it.
Hustle,
And
man. That's what, it was crazy to me. It was like Nipsey Hustle. I'm like, it just fits it. Like,
I'm telling you,
it just fits
the mentality. It was like
Hustle and motivate.
Yeah,
Hustle
exactly.
and motivate, basically.
Exactly. Their names kind of embodied the way that they live their life as well. You know what I'm saying?
It's like my name, Rickard. Like I didn't even give myself that name. I was with a girl, and then she was like, "Yo, you a star boy." At the time,
So I got a daughter.
at the
All
time,
this girl history.
at the time, Mavado had a song out called Starboy, and later on, The Weeknd put out the song Starboy.
Yeah.
But it's like a Jamaican saying. It's like someone that's flashy, that get money, that stand out wherever they at. Like as soon as they walk in the room, people know that they there.
Exactly.
So she was like,
and saw a trophy for Rickard.
she was like Starboy, and she was like Rickard. It's because most people, it's hard for them to pronounce Rickard. I don't know why, but they were like, so like she started calling me Rick, and then she put the star, Rick Star, and I was like, alright, it's whatever. Like at first I didn't even really like it, and then it just stuck.
Yeah.
It became an Instagram name.
Yeah.
Everything became life.
Like the way Jerm the Prophet came to me was like, it didn't, like I wasn't the one who came up with it. It was just like people were calling me that because what I would do is I would analyze situations and I would project like how they could play out based off of all the dynamics that I knew. And then people were like, "Yo, you're a prophet," and then they always compared Jeremiah being a prophet in the Bible. So it kind of like just was like a double entendre for me because it was like Jeremiah the prophet in the Bible,
made sense after
and then I was embodying my name by like sort of prophesizing these things that I would talk with about people. You know?
And you was just giving your opinions.
Yeah, I was just calling it how I see it basically, and like things were coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? So I think our names like really could show, like embody the way we live our life. You know, that's why companies need to be named or should be named after like what it is that they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Nowadays,
so you can identify.
Sense. Yeah.
People can easily identify the name with the service and product.
The value of the company and everything.
That's why I call it the real word ministry. It's like we ministering to people by giving them the real word, by being there and helping them out and telling them the truth of what they want to hear.
Sometimes it's a little censored, you know.
Yeah. But people, when they see ministry, they automatically think church. Like, no, like it don't gotta be church for me to minister to you. But ministry is basically helping your fellow man to get from point A to point B.
Exactly.
Like helping those that can't help themselves. Like the original job of a deacon back then was to help the widowers and the orphans, collect from the people that have and give it to the have-nots in order so that they could live.
Right.
And that was their job to do. But for some reason, they got lost.
Greed to do it.
They just started pocketing it. They're not giving back like they should.
Why you think things switched up, Alex? Because you be having knowledge on this subject.
Repeat the question again.
As in, like, what happened for men to lose their way from helping each other to just go out for selfish greed?
Well, the way men lose their way is mainly by deception. Because, like, if you put a beautiful woman in front of a man, 9 out of 10, the man is going to be deceived.
Fair enough.
That's why men got to understand how to control themselves.
Yeah.
When they meet a beautiful woman.
That is true. Women will have you on some waves.
Yeah.
Ups and downs for no reason.
Even in the Bible, it said that that the watchers, the angels, were sent down to earth to minister man and to teach them the way of God. But then they got tempted when they seen the human females, and they laid with the females and created a whole different race. And I'm like, yo, like these girls out here even seducing angels. Like, we ain't stand no chance.
Oh wow!
They came to attack.
That's why I said that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah, true enough. That's why, like,
I love them all, though.
True. I've learned that like people are blinded by the shiny things, and it's so easy now to manipulate people into believing that you're a shiny individual, that you have these shiny things, and that you obtained it with ease.
Exactly.
And people tend to try to like do things to help them get those shiny things, and they think that they can skirt all the hard work that you have to put in order to obtain those things, because everybody's making it look easy. Social media gives people that opportunity to be like, oh, I just put 30,000 on this chain, and
they don't know how hard you work to put that 30,000 in,
or they don't know how fake that $30,000 chain is and how it really looks, because people are manipulating, and they're having people believe what it is that they're doing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not ever the type of person to mislead or manipulate people, but if you have to do that in order to ascend what you're doing, as long as it's positive, I'll endorse it. Because sometimes you have to act like, oh, I just sold my service to 100 clients. Maybe it was only 10. But you're doing this to increase the notoriety and recognition of your brand, because you want people to believe that you're good. You might be the best, but people just aren't supporting you. So you might have to put that extra 0 on the end of that 10 to make it 100.
Start fake it to make it, you know?
Like you might have to hit people up and say, yo, can you give me, could you write a review for me? And you might have never done anything for them. And they're just going to write like, oh, you know what, I see what he's doing, I'm going to support it. And that's fine. But
that works. That builds you up.
People are being manipulated and misled to live a life that doesn't even produce or benefit themselves or their community. And that's the whack part to me. Yeah. That's where following after the shiny things becomes distorted for me. Because I do want nice things, and I want everybody else around me and the world to have nice things. Because when you have nice things, you're happy. Temporarily. You're not necessarily happy because of those nice things, but they let you, they're a nice reminder that you did something good in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Like that Wolf on Wall Street movie. It was like, you know, I'd rather show up to my problems in a nice suit, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You want to look good.
I don't want to be broke showing up to court. I want to go there with $1,000 watch like I could buy bail. Like.
That's why people are on social media and they're super fly. They got these $1,000, $2,000 outfits,
but they gotta still split the knowledge with it. They don't
sleep. Dad is on the floor. Mom don't got no pots and pans in the house. She's living like, come on, man.
Where's your priority?
Yeah, take care of the people that's gonna take care of you. You're supporting these companies that don't even support or give back to our community. Why are you supporting it so much? Why are you giving it your last penny? Why are you risking your freedom to obtain these things from something that doesn't give back, bro? It forgets about us. They take our money and they increase their families. They don't come back to our community, bro.
Even Gucci, like, we boycott Gucci for like 2 weeks.
Oh, they can put the most racist things ever.
And they went right back to wearing Gucci.
They're gonna buy it. You might have a couple people that long term
are boycotting.
Yeah, they'll some people long term boycott. Like, I will never wear Gucci again. You know what I'm saying? And you know, kudos to them. But we just have to be able to say, you know what? Even if my philosophy, even if you're gonna support that brand, although you know the ignorant things that they've said. Make sure that you're supporting your brother, your neighbor, please.
Just as hard.
We have to, because I don't think people understand the importance of small businesses and entrepreneurship. They don't recognize that entrepreneurship and small businesses stimulate economic development. So what that means is that they bring money into our community. They bring money in to fund the things that we need for our kids, for ourselves, for our streets. You have to.
Education is important too, like he was saying, Alex, with the schools. Like, we need better schooling. So.
Yeah. Listen, you know how many cities are building more apartment buildings and less schools? It's sad because you're oversaturating a whole entire city with these buildings, so all these building managers can make their millions of dollars per year. But where are they going to school? You know, how are the teachers able to hold up? They don't even care
about their own kids that much.
Yeah, they don't, bro. Because half the time, the people that are that wealthy are able to afford this private school or, you know, be able to homeschool their kids.
School, yeah.
Like, some of these problems don't matter. Like, rich people don't have the same problems that we do. They don't pay attention to things like how we do. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They pay for certain luxuries in life. Like, they will literally pay $10,000 to go get my groceries.
But don't you think that's weird that rich people don't have the same problems as us, but then we have a billionaire president and then we have a billionaire running for president against him now, Michael Bloomberg.
Right.
So it's like the battle of the billionaires for the poor people, because majority of America is poor. That's why I call it the 1% that's rich. So it's like, why are we letting these billionaires like run us? It doesn't make sense.
Go ahead, Alex. Well, the main reason why we let the billionaires run us is because, like, majority of people today, they live by money. Like, most of their faith is in their riches.
And the rich people are the rich.
Yeah. It's funny. I seen this quote on the internet. It said that most people only say that they're blessed when it's associated with money. And that really like stuck with me because it's really true. Like somebody will get a $20,000 check today and talk about how they're blessed, and it'll be the first time they said they're blessed in a long time. They didn't even remember that they were blessed for waking up today. You get what I'm saying? So
they ain't even pray to God saying anything.
I think that this problem is something that hasn't been evaluated on a level that it needs to be evaluated. And it needs to be evaluated in the communities where the most problems have, where the most poverty is. Is that when people are going to elect these types of people, these billionaires, it's because they're looking at the situation like, oh, he's a billionaire, so he knows how to make money. So if he becomes president, he can help me make money. And I think that's the way that some people are looking at it. Like, oh, Trump is a $1 billion businessman, so he can definitely stimulate economics in our country.
Even though he failed a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, but if they looked at it in a way that they really need to look at it like the direct support that they could get, they need to support the small businesses. Because those are the people and the companies that are going to actually impact your economics.
And change your life.
What the president does today isn't going to come down to Bed-Stuy of Brownsville overnight. It's going to trickle down to all the corporations, down to the people who run those corporations, down to the people who work for those corporations.
Pretty much
down,
the city. You
get what I'm saying? It's going to take too long for that effect that you think you're waiting for to happen.
But I feel like a lot of black people in particular, they still have that slave mentality in the sense that they're scared to start businesses. I reread upon the story of the Black Wall Street riots, the Tulsa, Oklahoma riots, and that was a town where black businesses were flourishing. And during those riots, black people lost $32 million worth of property and businesses that was never recouped. Ever.
No reparations.
No reparations. And they denied them twice. And when they took it to the Supreme Court wouldn't hear it because majority of the judges on the Supreme Court at the time were racist. Still are. And they said that the statute of limitations was over. How can I bring a lawsuit against you when you just killed half my family? You burned down my house. I'm living in a tent. How am I going to bring a lawsuit against you? Because lawsuits are expensive for people that don't know.
Yeah, very expensive.
And litigation is dragged out throughout the years to bleed you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So during that time, it took them 10 years to even talk about it because they were in fear. And at the time, they had over 3,000 Klansmen in the state of Oklahoma. 3,000. Wow. And in a state of about 70,000 people at the time. So
32 million.
35 million.
You know
35 million.
Cover back then?
Back then, exactly. So imagine.
Houses were cheaper.
So imagine that's black wealth. 35 million that we lost. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's just in one place, because there was a couple places. Because if you research racial tension or racial wars within America, you'll see that we were systematically attacked. You know, me having a background, we're working with HRA, the Human Resource Administration, and all these other bureaucracies. You see the setup where individuals are only provided certain type of subsidies and provided certain benefits because of their family structure. Meaning that if you're a single mother with a child, if you're a single male, you get a certain amount of benefits. But if you're a complete family, you don't get benefits like that.
Right.
You understand? And it's like they're attacking the family system. So therefore, you're basically out on your own. If you and your girl, hopefully, are not doing good together, then it's almost like, because most of the time, relationships break up over finances. You understand? Yeah. And so, like, if she's looking at you and you looking at her, and you looking at most businesses in America is owned by the white man. So you're looking at the white man to give you money, and he's looking at you like, do I give money to the black man or the black woman? He's gonna give it to the black woman because then he gets rid of you.
Yeah, and he gets to keep the black woman for himself.
So it's like it's like a whole system, and the black man is struggling to keep a business open, and it's hard. Like it's like I was talking to a lot of people today about this business. I'm like, yo, people take. They don't understand that we're a non-profit organization. We work on donations. You have to donate. www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's therealwordministriesinc.org. Or go and GoFundMe, look for The Real Word Ministries. Donate. You guys watch the show every time for free. Thousands of you watch the show. All you gotta do is each give like $10, $20. We could help thousands of people. We've helped hundreds of people, if not thousands of people already. We could do even more. But
going to BJ's.
But at the same time, if they want to step back and see, let me see if this Negro make it or this Negro fail. Let me see that. Let me see that. And I feel like that's crazy. That's crazy because the white man gonna support the white man. One day I went to go view an apartment, and I brought 2 clients with me, one black, one white. The owner of the house was a white guy. Who do you think he picked?
The white guy.
The white guy, exactly. The white guy doubled back, came back to the other white guy. I was like, hey, if you give me the house, I'll clean the house up for you. I'll treat it like it's mine. I'm going to look out for you. The white guy said, say no more, brother. You got the place. Pick which room you want. So this is how they looking out for each other. Like the dollar circulates in the Jewish neighborhood 25 times. In the Asian community 15 times.
That's the truth. That's the
for
truth.
25 days, 15 days. But in the black community, only 9 hours. Why? Because as soon as you get paid, where you go? You go outside Arab
Give
store.
it to another customer.
Who owns the beauty supply store? The Koreans. Who owns the food store? The Chinese. Who owns the dry cleaner? Korean and Chinese.
Corner stores.
So it's like, what do we own? The jerk chicken spot and the barbershop? Okay, we rent the barbershop. The owner of the building is a Jew.
Correct.
True enough.
So you give it, even if you give it to the black business, the barber owner, he gotta give it to the man upstairs.
And it never comes back.
Never comes back.
Once it leaves, it's over.
So what can we do?
Keep telling people to give back to our people.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I emphasize the most is just that people could start their own businesses and support small businesses, because that's really one of the key factors of economical development. You'll keep hearing me say that because I don't think people understand the importance of it. It really does give back to our community. That revenue, that's tax that the government takes. If we start attending those board meetings that they have with the councils, and we let them know, hey, we want more daycares. We want the potholes taken out of our streets because we tired of paying for tires and rims.
But here's the thing, though, because now that I'm within the inner circle, I get those emails.
We trying.
And at one time, I never got those emails.
Right.
Until I started sending emails, I started showing up. You know.
Right.
I took you a couple times. I took you a couple times.
Told me about it.
And they seen our faces now. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But without us showing up or getting those plugs, they wouldn't never know.
They're making decisions without us.
But at the same time, they're holding these meetings between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. while we're struggling to go to work. We don't have the luxury of making
Just
our own schedule. Rich people don't gotta wear watches because they operate on their own time. We don't have that luxury, right?
Right.
We don't have 4 or 5 houses giving us residual income where we don't gotta go into work.
We didn't get our 30 acres, 40 acres in a mule, man.
Exactly. Instead, we got a project apartment and food stamps and WIC. But at the same time, I've sat down with business owners that have businesses that has offices in their garage like this, and they just sit behind a desk all day because they own 4 or 5 buildings. I said, what this Jew, shout out to Sal, he owns 10 buildings. He said at his peak, he owns 25 buildings. He don't gotta work. He sits at home. He's like, yo, come see me when you feel like it. He pops up and he goes. Just like the owner of this building. Yeah. They millionaires now too. They came from fabric and garment district to designing clothes, from owning boutiques and merchants. They then went into real estate. Into real estate, they went to developing, which means now they're building skyscrapers and buildings. You understand?
That's still real estate.
Level up.
So where we at?
Still at the bottom. I mean, in order for us to get off from the bottom, I think a lot of us is going to have to start looking ourselves in the eye, because a lot of us, like, we say what we're going to do, but we don't put no action into it. We do the same thing day by day in the routine. We go to work, come home, you say, yeah, I'm going to change, but every day you do the same thing.
They got us programmed.
Most likely, most people where you live, you probably have a liquor store in the corner of you, or you got a drug dealer on the corner, and then you just pick the spliff up, or you just pick the bottle up, and then once you do that, you get drunk.
The day is
you get
over.
High. After you do that, you go home, the day is over, next day you go to work, and it repeats itself. And if you keep repeating itself, you're not going to get any change from that, because they tell you that you got to make sacrifices, but a lot of people are scared to make the sacrifices.
That's right.
Successful.
That's a fact. People are scared to change.
Yeah.
They're not fighting for the bigger mission, man.
Like sometimes you might have to go a week with no check, just in order to be just like the rich white rich white people.
They do live broke. A lot of them in the beginning,
frugal,
yeah.
And the other thing I think we lack is like we put too much emphasis, like the youth community for like my age group, we put too much emphasis in like clothing. We spend all this money buying $1,000 clothes and all that when we could put all those money and invest
in ourselves.
Exactly. Like you have all kinds of apps out here today that you could invest your money, but people rather spend it on $1,000 cold, $500 bill. Like, what is that $500 bill going to do for you?
We like to look rich even though we poor.
Yeah, and most of the rich people I spoke to, they're one of the most cheapest human beings I met.
Yeah, conservative.
Yeah,
like
they don't have the Gucci belts.
They don't. They go to bargain hunters or whatever, buy one of those. They don't care what you say because they know how much their pockets weigh.
Exactly. People being distracted by those shiny things. Want to appear to be something that they're not. And it's too much of an opportunity out here for people to do that, and it's really sad. And I feel like platforms like this give like that knowledge and that information and the real life individuals embodying what we're talking about, because this show gets thousands of views, like you said, and we need those thousands of people to take this information and use it.
Share it.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like even if they're applying these principles without us, pass it on. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else needs it, and we know we need it because we see crazy things on the news every day. So somebody is lacking this information. We have to do our due diligence. Like, share, subscribe, comment, like get engaged.
Pass it on.
You get what I'm saying? And there's so many other great organizations and companies and individuals that are out there.
We have apps like Acorn, Robinhood. You can even invest in Cash App. I know a lot of people.
It costs $500 to start a company.
Yeah.
$500, that's it. Do it.
And we got the plug. We know the owner of the newspaper that does the publications for LLCs.
Oh, man.
I like the real word.
Well, I know.
Shout out to Sweps Media Group.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I think.
It takes hard work to get this trophy.
Listen, you can lift it up with ease when you work hard enough.
Right.
When you put in that work, hustle and muscle, success.
Yeah, man.
And what's crazy is it was Nipsey that motivated me. That's the crazy part. And he had a song where he said, "Tonight is the night," and he was talking about his daughter. He was talking about his brother. He was talking about everything. He was basically saying at the end of the song that like he shed tears when he was writing this song because he was saying like this was the prolific moment that's gonna push him to the next level, and he felt it at that moment. Like I was telling y'all in the car, like everyone has that moment where they either reinvent themselves or they reach the breaking point where the person that they are has to be totally destroyed in order for the person that they have to become rise up. It's like God doesn't choose someone that's prepared, God prepares the chosen. So it's like, it's what I was telling y'all in the car in 2014 and 2015 when they told me I was going to be a youth leader. I didn't even know what a youth leader was or what I was going to do. But now, like, thousands of people follow me, literally. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I knew the responsibility that if all these people were going to follow me, I got to better my life and better myself and give them a great example.
Exactly.
And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but every night I told God to order my steps. Till this day, I pray to God every night, order my steps. Because when people say, how do you do it? How do you do it? I'm like, yo, it's not me, it's God. Because I could never be foolish enough to say it's me doing it on my own.
Can't be so conceited.
Because like 5, 10, 2 years, even yesterday, if you tell me, yo, I was going to do all of this, I was like, nah, how? Even if like earlier today, I was telling you how I got to this point, and even me saying it out loud, it doesn't really sound realistic. Like it doesn't even make sense because somebody could follow that same exact blueprint and it won't even work out for them the way it worked out for me.
Exactly.
So like that's so that's a divine intervention. You understand? Like, and my Instagram says it. Everything you see in front of you that I'm manifesting is the direct result of His divine intervention. It's God's hand working through me. You understand? Like I'm just an avatar moving through the matrix, but it's God that's working through me.
Exactly.
God's
I hope you
plan.
guys caught that one right there. I hope you guys caught that one.
God's
'Cause
plans.
Too many people give up on themselves too easy, man, because things aren't working out, or they might have listened to somebody that they looked up to, and they tried to follow that blueprint that person gave, not realizing that everything is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what worked for me may not work for you. If there are some things that I give you that you could apply for yourself and use, then do that. You know what I'm saying? I might give you 10 things and 2 of them are useful to you. Take them. Take them and go somewhere else and find more things that add to your list. You know what I'm saying?
That's biblical.
Exactly.
The story of the person with the 5 talents, the person with the 2 talents, and the person with 1. The person with 1, he buried it. The person with 2, they doubled it. The person with 3 went and tripled it. But the person with 1, he felt like he was left out and he buried it. And that's oftentimes a lot of us. Even me in particular, man. There's sometimes I want to give up. Like the other day, I made a post. I'm like, yo, sometimes I'm dead ready to give up on the real word. I was talking to my mom one day. I'm like, yo, I'm spending hundreds of dollars a month on this company. And people don't really see it because they probably see it as a small production. But the studio space costs, the internet costs, the marketing costs. I got employees that I pay every week. I got software and subscriptions and memberships that I pay just to keep the company running. I got to pay for email, website. All these things I gotta pay for. Even when I bring stuff to events, I gotta pay for transportation. I gotta pay for the flyer.
Including the energy you put
yeah,
into it.
exactly. And time I take away from my family. My mom was like, "Yo, if it's getting that much, like maybe you should just leave it alone." I said, "Yeah, sometimes I dead want to quit." And right when I said that, I said, "Yo, God, give me a sign." I got a call like, "Yo, we got 300 coats for you." I got another call, "Yo, I got a whole shipment of business attire for you." The next day, I got 2 shipments to my house, 2 garages full now of stuff to donate. You understand what I'm saying? And then I was like, wow. I said, yo, look at God. And then sometimes, and then a girl hit me up. She's like, yo, I read your post about you saying, like, sometimes you want to quit, but then you connected. She's like, sometimes you want to quit and you feel weak, but you connected to a higher power that's always going to recharge you. She said, well, yo, when I read that post, it stopped me from committing suicide. I was like, yo, I wasn't talking about committing suicide. I was talking about quitting a company. but then again, yeah, but then again, you never know what the next person is going through and God is speaking through you to speak to that person to help them through a difficult time.
Exactly.
And she was like, yo, sometimes I feel like it's overburdening and I don't want to deal with life no more. But when I read your post, like, it gave me life. And I was like, wow. And I was like, what you mean? She's like, yo, I was ready to give up, like kill myself. And I was like, wow. Yo, I wasn't talking about all of that, but like,
right. But
I'm glad I helped.
Yeah, like it's crazy, bro.
You'd
Like,
be surprised the lives you save.
yeah, exactly. Like,
just keep being out there.
Your living is contributing to other people living. You know what I'm saying? And that's very big in itself.
Yeah, that's a great example that was a great example of what I said, the amount of sacrifices that you gotta make in order to be successful. I don't think a lot of people could handle those sacrifices that Ricardo had to go through.
And I feel like this right here is just a living embodiment of the time, the hours, the money, the energy that you put into this. You get what I'm saying? And this right here is really heavy. Like, I'm
telling you,
this
wasn't
joking. No joke. This is like Thor's hammer right here. You gotta be the chosen one to lift that thing.
I wasn't joking.
Yeah,
Captain America will have some problems with that.
Listen, all the weight that you've had on your shoulder is right here in the form of a statue. And it's off your shoulder and it's on your table now. And it's up to you to, every time you feel like you got weight on your shoulder, just keep stacking more trophies next to it. Because this is what you should, this is not necessarily this, but just an accolade.
It's a symbol.
Exactly, a symbol of your hard work should just stack up. All that weight off your shoulder and on your table.
If I was you, just pick it up, do some curls sometimes, get your
dopamine
going.
It won't kill you, it'll only make you stronger.
Yeah, when you get stronger.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, I support everything that you've been doing, bro, and you know that's not just because you're sitting here. That's just literally because outside of me or anything that you've ever done for me or wanted to do for me, like, you're doing it for other people. You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for people. You're doing it so my kid could walk the street safe. You know what I'm saying? My son lives in Brooklyn. So the fact that you're touching Brooklyn alone just is like you already got my points.
Brooklyn
I'm
is 2.5 million people in here.
I'm rooting for you just off that, bro. You might be teaching the kid that is gonna be in a classroom with my son, bro, and you're instilling these values into these kids. That kid might be more polite to my son because of something that you taught him.
Facts.
I'm appreciative of that, bro, because that's what I'm working on in my life.
Yeah.
That's what I do. You know, when I speak to kids and I give back, my objective is to make these kids better than they came in when they leave. And I do that through leading by example and doing my best to like take my experiences and verbalize it into something that is usually called a gem, but so it can stick with them. You know, and I just hope that I could like give enough energy and articulate it well enough for them to grasp it so they can hold on to it. Because I've had people say things to me that have resonated within me forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still think about some of those things that they tell me today. My mentor, he told me, "He who is greatest among you shall be your servant." And I was trying to understand it. And then when I caught it, I was like, wow, like, when you're the greatest in the room, you have to be willing to give that energy back to the people that want to be great like you. So you have to work. You have to be the one, like, oh, you're the greatest here? All right, cool. That's why the teacher is usually the smartest person in the room, but they're teaching people because they're giving back what they've already obtained. And efforts of those 30 kids that they're teaching
to serve.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna teach those kids something, and hopefully they take that education, that information, and they make their life better, so they can make other lives better, and it becomes the circle of life. You know what I'm saying?
Moment.
Exactly. And it wasn't until we started serving the community and helping others that, you know, the light started shining.
Right.
Yeah. And the fact that we do it, like, a lot of people are admirable. You know, we have millionaires literally saying, "We're here to help. Just let us know how we can help."
Exactly.
And in a sense, sometimes I hold myself back because sometimes I do get scared. I do get scared of the pressure. I do get scared of the things that are coming, you know, because the higher they put you up, the harder the fall, I feel like, you know. And you know, even Martin Luther King being the great man that he was, like, you know, he had his dirty past, you know. He used to sniff cocaine and sleep with white prostitutes, you know. Even Malcolm X, he had his issues. Everybody had their issues. Everybody had their faults. Everybody had the thorn in their flesh, you know. And people always looking for that kryptonite to judge you for. And I think at times that's what I'm scared of. You understand? The fall. And sometimes I stagnate my own growth because of that.
I definitely understand. Like, I've met so many people that like feel that way, and I always like think like I heard this saying that says like to whom much is given, much is expected, and those expectations like are enough to give you enough pressure to make you question yourself. But like you said, bro, it's that divine intervention. You got to understand and trust in God to the point that you know He's not gonna let you fail. And that should be enough to make anybody like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I know I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm not gonna let anything deter me.
Positive message.
Yeah, because God got me. Like, I'm writing a book right now about my life, right? And the title of it is called "Failing to Fail." And that might go over some people's head, but what I'm really trying to say within that title of that book is that I've failed so many times in my life over and over and over again. But I still became successful. I still didn't become a failure. My life isn't embodied by being a failure. I might have failed throughout that course of my life, but I never was a failure in its entirety.
Because you never gave up. You took the lessons and you kept moving.
Yeah, you gotta take those punches and keep moving.
Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality.
You can't look at the losses as L's.
Yeah.
You gotta look at it as I gotta make improvements.
That's it.
Every loss is an opportunity for
Once
growth.
you get another day, that means you were blessed. You get to try again.
Losses.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like there was a time in my life, right? 2015. It was probably like one of the most. This was a period in my life where like I seemed like I could do no wrong. Everything I did just turned to gold, right? And at that point in my life, I realized that I wasn't growing anymore because I wasn't failing. But the real thing was I wasn't being challenged enough because it was like, who was there to correct me? You know, it was almost like I could say anything and people would agree with me because of the things that I was doing.
You were hot.
They were, I was on a roll. They were like, oh, anything this kid says is gold because look at what he's doing. And then what happened was I got so caught up in myself that I forgot. It was to the point where I forgot to thank God. You get what I'm saying? Like, I started just becoming so dependent on myself and my own intellectual capabilities that I was stunting my growth. And over time, I actually took a big, huge loss. And that loss is what woke me up and said, you know what? You got to remember to be humble. You got to remember to be appreciative. You got to remember that, listen, you need these failures in your life to keep you going. Because if I would have just kept going on that incline, I would have never been an entrepreneur today. And as an entrepreneur, I've helped over hundreds of people start their companies and develop financial strategies and receive funding and help, like I've given back to all these kids at group homes and foster cares and all these different things. I would have never been able to because if I would have stayed consistent in that period of time in my life, I would have just been a paralegal, working in a law firm, doing a 9 to 5, going home, hanging out with my girlfriend, and that was it. Playing basketball, I wasn't doing it
as much impact.
Yeah, I wanted to, but it wasn't until I took that major loss and it made me reevaluate my life and I say, you know what? I got to do more, and I got to remember that I could fail and I could lose it all. And I think people need to fail in life. Like if you meet somebody that says I don't lose or I don't fail or I'm never wrong, you can't be around them. They're toxic. They're toxic.
You don't need toxic people around. You know what they say.
So closing thoughts, gentlemen, 3 minutes.
Yeah, let somebody else speak though.
Well, the main thing I gotta say for all the people watching is watch the circle that you surround yourself with, because you know what they tell you. The circle that you surround yourself with is exactly who you're gonna become. So if you say that you want to be successful and you want to be, let's say, a lawyer, doctor, then you need to hang around with people with those type of mentalities, because if you don't, you're not going to reach your goal.
That's facts.
Real big thing. Exactly. Birds of a feather flock together.
Kimmel, those thoughts?
Let's just gotta be mindful on the things we listen to every day. In the sense of, we gotta put more positive words out there, more positive influence, more sticking together sayings. Like he says, be around a more positive circle. It's just the circle of life, You are the company you keep, like he was saying. So keep circles like this together, keep the real together, keep the real word together, keep the people who are happy to be alive together, keep the positive thing going.
Very true.
That's my message.
Sometimes it might be your own friends that's killing you.
Happens too often.
They could be draining your energy,
I think I just want to leave them with let it go. And what I mean by that is that I feel like people hold on to things that keep them from progressing in their life. People hold on to old relationships that don't benefit them. People hold on to memories that keep them from trying something that they need to do. Yes. People hold on to things that prevent them from growing individually. So my message to everybody is to let go. Stop holding on to these things. They're not helping you grow. You're not going to get to the next level. You're holding on to these ideologies that have proved to you over and over every year. Every time you set those New Year goals for yourself, oh, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to stop doing that. And you don't stop doing it, and you're still living the same life. It's time for everybody to make that change. Let go of those bad habits and start doing the things that you need to do to live a better life.
Yes. Save your money.
Exactly.
You have an iPhone, download Acorn, Robinhood, invest your money. Don't spend that money on that $1,000 Canada Goose.
Oh yeah, no. When they download the Robinhood, they're gonna have to split that stock with us. I'm gonna send you my link.
Exactly.
Shout out to Eric Jean-Baptiste. He said the real word is back. Shout out to him, man. He's been a fan since day one. So shout out to Eric Jean-Baptiste all the way out from Boston. Shout out to LaToya Ferguson. Wow, powerful name. She said, as a business owner, I know the importance of showing up. So that's what's up. Shout out to all of the knowledgeable people. Shout out to all the people that comment. Shout out to all the people that tuned in. Shout out to all the people that shared, liked, hit the like button on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hit the share button. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at The Real Word Ministries Inc. The Real Word 7 on Facebook. The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. The Real Word TV on YouTube. www.therealwordtv. Sorry. The www.therealwordministriesinc.org. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. That's the www.therealwordministriesinc.org. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to everybody that's supporting. We thank you. We love you. Want to close out with the prayer.
I think this is your show. You gotta start off strong, man. Like,
he ain't do it to you.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father that dwells in heaven, we thank you for this moment of time. We thank you for this time where us as brothers could come together in peace, harmony, and unity. We ask you to cover us with your blood. We ask you to order our steps, Lord. We ask you to protect us. We ask you to guide us in everything that we do. We put this business in your hands. We put our lives in your hands, and we put our future in your hands, Lord. In the name of Yahshua, the Son, we pray to the Holy Father. Amen.
Amen.
So we see you again next week, God willing, guys, and good night.
It's the real word. It's the real